back, everyone.
And we're back.
So, what are you doing tonight?
You want to know something interesting I found?
What's that?
So, all that work that I did on Mars.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Getting that oxygen. Come check this out, though.
Can you just pull oxygen?
So, I wasn't
Yeah, I wondered about that. I was wondering if you could just have like an oxygen collector that pulled oxygen.
So you can. You can just pull it and put it right into the gaseous liquefiers and send it right on over to the barrel.
Right. See, that's what I kept thinking about. Like the other night when we were doing it, I was really tired, and I kept thinking to myself, because on Mars, like it all kind of came together in my head, but like it didn't come together enough for me to say anything, because I was like, wait, he's collecting oxygen gas and something else, but we don't need the gas. Because I originally it made sense because we needed the rocket fuel.
Right, and that's why I originally even went with that plan, is because it left no waste. You pulled the oxygen and the hydrogen, and you needed them both. But now that we don't need hydrogen anymore, I was like, wait a minute here.
Yeah, I kept thinking, I was like, wait, there's oxygen on Earth. Why are we? And then yeah. And I always went back to, well, we need the rocket fuel.
Though I'm not sure why I started doing it in the first place, doing this one that gets the liquid nitrogen as well, because that seems like a complete waste.
Yeah, no, I don't know why we did that. You're right. You're right. Eventually those episodes will be out and people will say we're an idiot.
Well, and I guarantee I'm waiting for the comments to come in now, because I think we're about to get to this point in what's being shown of trying the oxygen thing. And this collects so much faster.
Right.
That I think
it's just everywhere.
I think it's sustainable because we're collecting 1,000 every couple seconds, which is going to be at least one cycle of 1,000 in the cylinder through the Tesseract is going to last you for 15, 20, 30 seconds, something like that.
Right.
So I think this actually will make it sustainable, and I bet we could do more if I make more gas liquefiers. If I just move the ones from Mars to here, I bet it would start dumping in, and we can probably have infinite oxygen anywhere we go.
Sweet.
So,
that's
all that wasted time and energy, but it was a learning experience. What can I say?
Right. That's it is what it is. I'm actually kind of glad that we're a little bit ahead on the episodes because we can fuck around and mess up and learn on our own pace.
Yes, very much so. People don't just tell us what it's supposed to be. Oops.
Right.
I'm gonna take this thing, put it here. Though I don't know if I want to finish the oxygen and make it like sustainable everywhere, because I don't want to do Chocobo breeding until I have a oxygen supply that's going to be perfect for them.
Right. Yeah, I've been thinking about breeding.
You got the breeding on the brain.
Yeah. I was thinking about starting here pretty soon. Doing some more space station stuff today. I don't have really anything else planned. I did finally change my setup over here to just send the remember that bullshit I was doing over here with the buckets and all that. I finally realized how to actually send the liquid, because I knew that the cyclic summer could hold liquids, but I don't know. I guess I didn't understand how to use it in a crafting recipe, so I don't need all the buckets and everything. So I finally have this making Endurium blend without the bucket cycle shit. I don't know if you even remember that.
I saw it and I didn't really understand it, so I just didn't say anything.
And if you remember last week at the Builders One thing, I kept trying to figure out what to pour on the Builders One.
Mm-hmm.
I did some more research on that, and it's there's in this mod pack, it's way different. It requires you to go to the end and do a bunch of bullshit, another ritual.
Are you gonna have to sacrifice me again?
Well, a mob would have worked. I could have killed a bunny. It would have been fine.
What a dick.
But it was way more fun that way, right?
For you?
I wish she wasn't sure. I could have swore we killed Arcus, but we didn't. We just killed like a mob. So I've actually been curious what's going on with the Ender Quarry out here.
To see if it's actually doing anything crazy.
It's still running. We're like, what, a month in of this thing running? It's now scanned 25 million blocks.
25 million.
But I noticed we were getting some fir trees the other day, and I'm curious what the terrain looks like where where that used to be.
I mean,
Well, they're still there.
the fir trees are in the tundra or whatever, right?
I don't know what this biome's called. Let's see. Well, that says beach. Let me go a little bit further. And temperate rainforest. I don't know. I don't know how far it's gone at this point. I'm trying to figure that out. I could have swore I may have dreamed that.
Well, may not.
Okay, I can see it's gone through here. I don't think it's made it. I mean, it's definitely still going strong, so it hasn't made it all the way over here, of course.
This liquid.
There's the other marker.
An empty O2 in. Oh my god, this is... trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to get this thing set up with the gas electrolyzers from Mars. Because I actually had it cycling and working just fine, and it was technically, even with the Mars setup, it was sustaining up here on Mars, but it was only earning like 100 or so oxygen every cycle, which is not really sustainable for more than one person.
I want to see some craziness out here, but I don't think I'm going to get my wish.
It's just nothing look different at all.
No, I don't think it's made it to the point that I wanted it to see this mountain get ate. I mean, it's not going to flatten it, but it's going to get rid of all the stone in it. I don't think it's made it there yet, so it's looking like here. I must have really dreamed about the tree bits.
What, they're not there?
No, they're still here. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could have swore I saw where it had started taking down the trees or something. Oh, something's happened here. Okay. Something has actually happened. Yeah, it looks like... Okay, yeah, I can see where it's kind of come through here. Okay, so part of... I wonder why it ate that one tree, because the rest of the trees are still here. So I did see. I didn't dream that. Good to know.
Well, yes, good to know you're not entirely crazy.
Yeah, just partially.
Yeah, just partially. Well, it's better than being partially crazy. Nothing's fun if you're not crazy at all.
I feel like once this particular quarry ends, we could just stop doing them.
We can just stop quarrying.
Yes, yeah, I feel like this is the last of the quarries, probably. Maybe. We have a lot of stuff. You had a chance to play any more Crackback?
I have not at all gotten a chance to play Crackback, which is sad because I'm gonna get into it. I just have not yet. A couple reasons. Life has been insanely busy lately. Like, again, last night I had to go to the fire station last night, which is not my normal night because they're so short on people. Oh, yeah. So that's been taking up like some of my time, as well as I've got a reveal of something that I've been working on for the
you got your beer ready?
I do have a beer.
No, I meant you were working on brewing some beer.
Oh, no. So beer's done. The first batch has been dranked and delicious.
Dranked
and delicious.
Got drunked. They did.
No. Those videos will be coming out soon. I'm really mad at myself because my very last stage of that video, the footage is gone for both the first two brews I did.
Why? What happened? Did you delete on accident?
I don't know. It was on my phone, and it's gone. So I don't know what happened. I have the GoPro footage of it too, because I had a GoPro set up in the corner while I was doing it to catch a different angle. So I still have footage of it, but it's funny because half the time you can only see like my torso, and I'm talking to a camera that's not the GoPro.
Right.
So you can see what happens when I actually get the video together, but I'm not pleased with it because of that.
Have you thought about contacting the NSA and getting their backup?
I was thinking about it. I actually decided to call Apple and see with them first, even though it's not an Apple, but they still wouldn't do it.
Oh.
They were like, even if this was an Apple, we would not do it because that's invading customers' privacy.
Right. They're really sticklers about
Of
whatever.
course. I mean, gotta be. Today's
Right.
day and age of craziness.
So what's your big reveal?
Well, I'm not gonna reveal it yet, but I've been working on something, and it's so funny. You ever work on something for a long time, and it's so stupid and pointless, but you're just proud of yourself for it.
Yes.
That's pretty much what it is. It's just making something with command blocks and stuff in Minecraft, which I hadn't done in a while, but I got inspired to do something, and it's so pointless, and most people are gonna be like, "What is wrong with you, Jeff?" But I'm proud of it.
Okay. So you're basically Seth Bling now.
Well, I actually utilized Seth Bling's. I recoded something of Seth Bling's too to make it work. Not because it's anything like what he did, but because he had a base there that I needed to start with.
I see. I gotcha. All right.
I mean,
I'm
that's all real programming is anyway. Is you take somebody else's start and you make it something else.
No, that's not. Well, that's not. Well, okay. I guess you have a compiler, and the compiler is code. I was gonna say
Well,
that's not completely true.
Well, I just mean you don't always start a build from nothing. If you need to say have something, say like, in my particular thing, I can reveal what it is. I needed the keyboard that types things with the banners as part of it. I wasn't gonna recode that from scratch when it already existed.
Right.
I utilized his version of that to do something completely different with it. But I mean,
Gotcha.
like, when you code something, you don't always start with, like, a completely blank screen and go, okay, step one, coding, let's go. You're like, okay, let me take the base pieces of other projects I've done, other basic things that are out there, put them together, and then start the meat and potatoes of what you're doing.
Right. The Irish.
Yes. I don't know, maybe
they
you
call
don't
it.
do that. Maybe you do everything constantly from the very beginning, but I don't.
No, I mean, a lot of times what it will be is my own code, though. You take your own code, be like, oh, I've worked this project, this part of this project out before.
Right.
Let me just reuse some of my old code here or whatever. So yeah, that's a lot of it. But yeah, I think everyone does it. Looks at other people's examples of code and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, and when I do things like that, I always give credit to the pieces I utilized from other people, because I'm not going to be like, look what I made from scratch. No, that's bullshit. What I did was the cool thing in the middle. I do have other news though.
Oh yeah.
Yet again, there's a hole in my ceiling.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Why? What is going on?
It leaked again
I thought
over
it was
the weekend.
I thought it was the kid the thing the refrigerator.
Yeah, we hoped, but apparently not.
You were wrong. Well, you weren't wrong.
I
They
guess
were wrong.
I guess they were wrong. Yeah, I guess so, because
Oh man. So you still don't know then?
nope, no idea.
So at this point you've decided that you need to call a priest, right?
Something like that. Well, I'm moving out of this place soon anyway, so
Okay. Has anything been damaged? I mean, I know that they grabbed a bucket that had a hole in it, and we're like, oh, we're gonna crash all the water in the whole bucket.
the main damage is to the stuff that's still here that they refuse to replace, which I think is fucked up.
That's my question. That was my next question. So are they replace? Yeah, that's bullshit.
Nope.
That really
And
is.
it smelled, and that's the reason I noticed this time there was a problem, is because I walked downstairs and I was like, it smells musty in here again, which is my sign of something's leaking and getting into the carpet. And the ceiling, I looked up at the ceiling and it was just like completely soaked.
So like this isn't even my problem, but it pisses me off.
Oh, it pisses me the hell off too, because the housing the management company they don't even know our address. We've had emails that were included on because they're working with people to come fix all the shit that keeps breaking in here, and they'll give them the wrong address and then tell them we'll correct them, and they'll be like, no, we don't have a house at that address, and we're like, really? Are you
don't
sure?
exist yet, but you got that cat food.
Oh, but they demand the rent. I did get that
should
cat
tell them
food.
there's no one living at this address. There is no this address. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. This address doesn't exist.
We don't exist.
Dude, I'd never freaking move out. I wouldn't buy a house and move out if
You'd have to pay rent. You just live in the haunted water house.
it'd be worth it for not paying rent.
So do you feel like the ghost of your house, like maybe they lived there and then like went and died on the Titanic or something like that? Like what kind of ghost floods a home?
That's a good question. I don't know. A dick?
A dick. Just a floating dick. He was it's like what was Monica? No, not Monica. God, what was the woman that cut the
Lorena
man's dick?
Bobbitt?
Yeah, Lorena Bobbitt. You have what was her man's name?
John Bobbitt?
Oh, John. That's a very common name.
Johnson Bobbitt.
Johnson Bobbitt. Gee,
It was. I mean, it makes sense to me, Johnson Bobbitt, of course.
right. Right. Totally.
Item
I get it.
I feel like every time I do this, I'm doing the same exact setup I've done like 3 different times now in a different location and hopefully the permanent location. And every time I stare at it confused, like, what goes where now?
Why? What do?
Yeah, what do?
Uh-huh.
What do happen? I no get.
See, I have oxygen. See, the thing is, here's the thing.
Well, what is the thing, Guude?
It doesn't take that many trees to get like permanent oxygen. So how do you feel about that?
That's how I feel about that. I've had the same oxygen running up on my space station forever.
Yeah.
But what I hope this is going to do is I'll be able to actually put a tesseract inside of a room. So basically the whole setup will pretty much be a tesseract and an oxygen compressor or whatever the one is that fills the room. Which one fills the room?
Bubble? No, not the bubble distributor, right?
Right, not the bubble distributor.
The I don't really actually know. I don't remember what it's called. Let me see.
Either way, I figure because then you will never have seals to the
Distributor?
outside that you have to get those sealed blocks for. You'll be able to literally have a like 2x3 area that's or
Okay,
one
yeah.
by 3 area that you can just put in any room and you have oxygen in that
Right.
room now, and you don't have to
Right.
deal with exposure to the outside world.
That's actually pretty smart. Yeah, I hadn't thought of it like that. Yeah.
Because then if I accidentally have to do something because I broke something and my chocobo start like dying, I don't have to like open up the outside world. Whether it's gonna work like that or not, who freaking knows? But that's
What the fuck is
goal.
it called? What the fuck is it called? I don't
know,
see it.
oxygen. It's not a distributor. It's the one that's a sealer.
Oh, sealer. There it is. I just didn't see it.
Yeah,
Down there.
either one will
Over
work,
there.
but
Yeah.
in theory with this setup. But where is
It's a pretty small area, though, right? The sealer does. Sealer?
the sealer? I think it's bigger than the bubble distributor.
Right, but it's. I remember you not being satisfied.
Yeah,
You were
it was not
unsatisfied.
it was not as big of an area as I wanted it to be for sure. And I guess that's one thing about the bubble distributor that's nice is you don't have to worry about it breaking when you go in
Anything,
and out
really.
of doors. It's just there and running.
Right.
So I might just do bubbles everywhere.
Hmm.
Why is this not?
I don't trust any of it. I think it's all a little buggy, honestly.
I mean, the fact that randomly you can come in and it will have no oxygen, even though you have pure oxygen, is kind of scary. I lost another empty oxygen canister though. It's somewhere in like space time.
Continuum.
Oh, you know what? I bet you it's filled and it's waiting to go to Mars. Yeah, it gets sucked into like the Tesseract, and if it doesn't have anywhere to go, it just stays there forever until you bring it back out.
Yeah, I still don't really understand or know exactly how Tesseracts work in regard to their inventory. Like, I think they only hold one item. I had a problem on Agrarian Skies the other day where I had one lead nugget in there and it just broke everything. One lead nugget came in and just ruined everything.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like nothing else could go in there because it didn't have a home for that one lead nugget. And so it wouldn't take any other inputs until that lead nugget got out of the way.
Why is this not? Okay, this takes my empty ones and sucks them out. Oh, this is supposed to take my liquid O2 and suck it in.
So I have a question.
No. Go on. I have an answer. It might be wrong, but I have it.
How'd you feel about Amazon Prime Day last year?
So
Did you have an opinion?
I will tell you, I didn't know anything about Amazon Prime Day until today.
Okay, so you didn't know about it last year.
No, and I've been a Prime member for years.
Oh. Well, you didn't miss out on anything last year. It was nothing but disappointment. Everyone was complaining. No one liked it. It was basically like Amazon took all their junk that no one was buying and were like, "Hey,
Do you want
someone
this junk?
please take this shit?
Hey,
We're not
you
even going to discount it that much, but will you please just buy it. Just buy it." This year, it's still not very good.
Oh, that's much different than I anticipated you saying.
It's better a little bit. I actually bought something this year, but did you look at it this year?
I looked at a news article that talked about some of the deals that were in there, and I was like, okay,
So you didn't go blow any money.
no.
All right.
Well,
Well, I was just wondering. I was wondering if you bought anything because it's the day of this recording. So I was just curious if you had bought anything. I was hoping to get another TV, but there was no TV to be
so
bought.
what is your how do I put this without sounding really strange? What is your idea of if you were to buy a TV today? If you were to go buy one, what would you buy and for how much money? Because I feel like TVs have completely drastically changed in what you expect for the price in the last like 2 years.
Right. So the last time I bought a television, it was a Sony LCD projection. So it was a decent TV, and I paid $5,000 for it.
A projection,
It's
like
not.
a
It's not.
DLP projector,
No, no, an LCD projection. I just told you what it was.
but I don't know what an LCD projection
It
is.
was. It was at the time. It was pretty fancy. Sony just came out with a 60-inch television.
That was
Uh,
18 years ago. I've had this
no, it was.
TV.
It was probably 15 though. 10, or it was more than 10 years ago. Because in fact, I just canceled my satellite dish the other day. They're like, "You've been with us 11 years. So why are you canceling?" And I bought the TV before that. Um, So I think I did at least. I'm pretty sure I bought this TV before the satellite. I may be wrong about that part, but it's at least 10 years old. It's a really old TV, and I've actually stopped using. We don't watch that TV, so it's in storage right now. To be honest with you, but so what? Here's what I want now. I want like a 30-inch TV just to sit in the living room for my daughter to watch PBS on PBS Kids. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, that's what. So you would want something extremely like.
I just want it to have the built-in, I don't have to use a Chromecast or whatever, to bring in PBS or Netflix. I want it just built into the TV. But that's it. That's all I'm looking for. I was looking to spend about 200, $300 for a TV, tops.
Okay, so what the fuck? Why is this thing not? What is filled? This thing wrong. I think I messed this up. So that's for because you specifically want something for your daughter.
Right.
What if you were looking for a TV for yourself right now? Let's say you did watch a lot of TV and you were going to go buy a nice TV.
Well, I had that 60-inch television, and the rooms in our house are like 15 by 15 or whatever, and it was way too big for that room. So I don't feel like I would buy a television as large as the 60-inch television I had before. So I
Okay.
think I would limit myself to something like 45 inches tops, somewhere in that range, 50 inches maybe.
And
But I
what do you
wouldn't.
think you'd pay?
I wouldn't. After buying a $5,000 television, I would never do it again because the rate at which the technology is increasing right now, and they're also trying bullshit like, oh, let's fucking curve it. No, I don't want it curved.
Yeah,
And
I'm not quite sure about the curved part. I don't.
well, according to everything I've read, it's basically bullshit. But not only that, like the resolution is changing rapidly. There's advances in 3D technology, so I wouldn't spend more than $1,000 would probably be my cap, and that's really stretching it because I don't watch enough television to justify it. So it's kind of a hard question for me to answer too because I wouldn't use it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was into sports or something, I was watching on a regular basis, and I had a larger room than our largest room, I might go back to the 60-inch TV or whatever. Like if I had like a studio apartment or something like that, I could see that, and I had friends. That's another thing that I would probably want to have in order to justify it because you want to have someone else to watch the television with you. But as you know, I could get by watching Netflix on my monitor right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I feel like it's a little bit different than it used to be, or my perspective has changed on it. What about you?
So I think it's funny because back in the day, I would have spent like the 52-inch that we have upstairs in our living room. I didn't buy that. That one came with the house. Like one of the other roommates had it, but I think that probably cost about $900 to $1,000 when they purchased it like 5 or 6 years ago, and I think I could get the exact same TV now for like $350.
Right. That's how like I feel about my $5,000 TV.
Yeah,
Probably,
I
if
think
I tried
it's
to yard sell it, I would rather just keep it. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right. I just think it's insane, and that's why a lot of people talk about the stuff that they're looking for, especially on like those Prime deals. You just can't come close to what the standard deals are, and that's why I started talking about it, because of the Amazon Prime Day. You can't come close to the things that people want, like as you said, TV. But I think the people who want the TV that expect this deal are like, why didn't I get a $99 65-inch 3D projection TV? Like,
Right, right. Well, I think that's another weird thing with the Amazon deals. The only TVs they've had are brands I've never heard of in my life, ever. Like High Solution or something like that was one of them. I don't remember what the fuck the exact name was, but it was like I was like, what the who?
there's one really big one. The Hisense is one of the big ones now. That's
what it was. I think
it was a Hisense. Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
It's some Chinese.
All the reviews were
brand.
complaining about how bad the tech support is. Like, oh, it doesn't work. And when it didn't work, I called and it's just a runaround. Like, they had a lot of bad reviews talking about the customer service. So I don't know. I don't know what if it's not a name I recognize, I'm a little bit weary, and I don't know if that's just me being old or what. But like, I want a Sony or a Panasonic or a Samsung or something that I at least know the name of. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm okay with the off brands. I have a TCL, which most people probably have not heard of what a TCL is.
Is that the Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls band?
It is. It's two of the members switched positions though for this particular
right.
like.
Well, didn't one of them die? And then they started making TVs.
Yeah. Then they started making. Well, I mean, but there must have been an extra guy because they were TLC. Then they became TCL to make the TVs. It's their like subsidiary brand.
Gotcha.
That's what they would when the music career slowed down, they started the TV business and business, and it was good to go. But TCL, and I did my research on this because it was cheap like 8 or so years ago. I bought it for $300 for a 30 or a 42-inch TV, which is super freaking cheap back at that point. But it was because it's this off-brand that nobody wanted, and I did my research and found out that it's like a rebranded LG screen.
Huh. Okay.
So you get a lot of that. Hisense, I don't believe, is necessarily that per se, but
a lot of people were saying they were refurbished televisions. Other brands that had been refurbished, they would buy the parts of broken televisions, fix them, and then rebrand them, is what the comments were saying. Again, this is like if you believe the things you read on the internet.
Right. So. And I do believe, especially with more and more information that's out there, there's more and more misinformation, which makes it very difficult. I just got myself stuck.
So it's kind of like anytime you try to read a news article now, it's all about, what everyone's saying on Twitter or Facebook. It's like, that's not fucking news. This is not journalism. We're also out of time, Jeff. So whatever you wanted to say, like, was that relevant to this conversation?
Not at all.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.